Okay, at WrestleMania 31, pretty much every match since then, John Cena has busted out move 6 in the 6 moves of doom. Springboard stunner, for some reason. Because when I think springboard moves, I totally think John Cena. I wish he'd bring back the throwback. Essentially he would hit his opponent in the stomach, they would kind of bend forward, he would run from behind kind of like a flip forward, into kind of like a face buster. Not a bad looking move. It was a nice setup sort of move because you could do that move right into the 5-knuckle shuffle. Worked pretty well. Still surprised it hasn't had a name change yet, given given the contextual clues for it. But Austin thought that it was a neat move, but when it's another setup move, it seems kind of pointless. For a long time, the stunner was a finisher. Even when it's called the Disciple, I think it was called like the Apocalypse. When Brutus Beefcake came back as, Renegade. Came back as Renegade. He used a version of the stunner. For a while, R-Truth was using a version of a stunner as well. There's also the Osaka Street Cutter. Awesome version of a stunner. I think that's pretty close to the version that R-Truth was using. Essentially, that's kind of like going from almost like the reverse suplex into the stunner position. Looks awesome when it's done properly. And in a way, the stunner as well as like the franchise, which is a style of a jawbreaker, were really nice, out of nowhere sort of moves that you could hit. I mean, a stunner had a great setup. Kick. Any point that it was kick, stunner. And it was enough to be like the opponent is incapacitated for a short period of time. Worked great for that. Boom, 1, 2, 3, or if it was like, boom, rock taking it, handstand, hit the ropes, fall forward, go into a pinfall. The stunner by itself was a very good and effective move. Anything that more or less kind of did like a jaw-jacking motion, thus rattling the brain, giving you a momentary amount of unconsciousness, at least enough for a 3 count, worked well. Seeing it brought in as like a random move. Meh. But as wrestling has gone on, a lot of moves now are kick-out of moves that are finishers for some people. Batista, sit-down powerbomb. You're probably going to lose the match. Luke Harper, sit-down powerbomb. You're going to kick out. Pretty much any cruiserweight. Sami Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb. Freaking awesome maneuver. It's not a finisher. Super kicks are no longer finishers. Unless it's Shawn Michaels. And that has been kind of bizarre, as you'll see these really awesome moves. And it's not a finisher. Unless a specific person... You can kick out of a Shawn Michaels super kick, unless it's a pay-per-view. I do think, too, the fact that people are kicking out of finishers all of the time now. I understand it when someone kicks out of a tombstone because it's The Undertaker, he wrestles one match out of the year. People will kick out of an Undertaker chokeslam. They might kick out of a Big Show chokeslam. They might kick out of a Kane chokeslam. It's no longer the big finish move that it used to be. The spear. For Goldberg, it was a setup move. For Rhino, well, he did the gore, which was an awesome version of the spear. For Edge, it was a finisher. For Roman Reigns, it's his only true finisher. So it does seem kind of weird that Cena's throwing out a really unique move that has nothing else to do but add another move to his arsenal. His top rope leg drop to an opponent who stands still, almost like a top rope Faymaster. Again, used to be a finishing move. Now he's doing it off the top rope onto somebody. And it's for a 2 count. Maybe it is time every now and then, like if Jawar had a package stunner, let's say he hits it on we'll go with Cody Rhodes. If you're hitting on Cody, he would catch him with it, that'd be great. Remember recently Cody defeated Fandango, and what did he use? Beat Fandango using the beautiful disaster kick, or 2/3 moon crescent pose, whatever he wants to call it now. And that's not his true finisher. I think it'd be great to see some of these matches, especially on like a Raw or a SmackDown, even a house show, to see somebody use a setup move to occasionally get the pin. Beautiful case, and have your big finisher for like pay-per-views. Beautiful case in point. Kenta, or Hideo Itami. He's been using the shotgun kick. Since he can't use the running knee strike that Daniel Bryan's using, that was his, he's doing a version of that, which is a straight leg, like a running straight leg kick. Looks vicious, gets the 3 count. But he constantly was hinting at a GTS, which was one move he created. He used it in one of the first touring shows for NXT as the way to win a match. Love that. That's great. I want wrestlers to have multiple finishers. That's fantastic. You know, CM Punk had the Anaconda Vice, and he also had the GTS. Jericho, Lion Salt might occasionally get you a pin. Codebreaker would occasionally get you a pin. Walls of Jericho could occasionally get you the victory. But he had multiple moves that he would throw out. He had a lot of different moves that he could use to occasionally get a pinfall. I'm not just talking in a 2 out of 3 falls match where all of a sudden the side effect is a pinnable move. You know, give somebody at least 2 finishers. Because now all of a sudden the match has totally different ways of doing it. Now an RKO, yeah, you can RKO off of anything. It requires no setup. That's why DDP was amazing. A diamond cutter could come out of nowhere. So it made all his matches that, because at any point in time, the match was done. If you have to watch The Shield. Roman Reigns was over so much because when they did the tag to Roman Reigns, you knew we were getting to the finale of the match. He was the hot tag. Hot tag get a big pop because now all of a sudden the whole match is builded to this finale. The hot tag leads to your finale. You know, the springboard stunner, beyond the fact that it's a hard move to look good on camera, you know, the AA, on John Cena's shoulders, all angles of the arena look about the same. F5, all angles of the arena. You see it, you see the movement, you see the finish. Rock bottom, same way. Super kick. As long as you weren't the person behind either of them, you saw the move. Directly behind, you would see the head snap back and the guy fall down. You're facing the other direction. You saw Shawn Michaels bend down. You saw the foot go up. So you had a lot of great angles to see the move. Springboard stunner. Yeah, a lot of times I think he's almost missing it. And then you show a different angle and you go, oh, okay, that's a really good angle. Because when he does it, if you're seeing the wrestler from behind, you don't see the whole move. You see John from up front, it just seems kind of awkward. If you see him from the side, where he uses the arm for the head, so much of the body mechanics is blocked out. From the other way, John's head is blocking the other guy's head as he's going for the grab. And it's a springboard. I don't picture John doing springboard moves. So, I love the move. I think it's the wrong guy to have it. And it would make a great almost like kind of finisher. Now let's say Sin Cara or Kalisto would throw that out. Or Ziggler, Adrian Neville, Tyson Kidd. To get the smaller guys and have the bust out that move, which would make sense because you might do a kick to go for a stunner, but you're a smaller guy, so the kick might not put the guy in position to take the move. The springboard would make it look awesome. Because all of a sudden you're getting that height of a taller opponent to get into the motion, to put him into a stunner. With John, it comes off as awkward. Glad he's throwing out a new move? Yep. Would I rather see him do a variation of a suplex? He used to do the release fisherman. If he did kind of a delayed fisherman, it'd be awesome. He's not going to be able to do a fisherman buster or a muscle buster, but still, if he did something along those lines, I think that would work. But, like I said, it's an awesome move. It just is really stupid that it's a setup move. If you use it for the occasional finisher for an opponent that's not quite up to par with John Cena, that'd be great. But just throwing it in to have another move to throw in, so it's like 5 moves to doom, 6 moves to doom. It just seems like it's an entirely waste of an awesome move.